Before we proceed with the status, I want to do one thing here, and whenever our user changed this, what we want to do is to be able to save this information to our user. And also I want to get rid of this extra space here, the header part, because I want this to be connected with our edit profile title there. So first things first, let's go ahead and create another function, and this is gonna be view did appear, and then we call super view did appear animated, and I'm going to show user info here because we want to also refresh every time our user goes to status, choose some status and comes back. We want to refresh this. And then in my view did load, in order for this done button to operate properly, we need to do some setup. So we need to become a delegate of this text field so that we can access this done button. So let's create a function, configure text field, and this is called in view did load. I'm going to copy this and update UI. Let's put another mark here, call this configure private func configure text field, and I'm going to access my username text field dot delegate is equals to self. So our current view will be the delegate. And in case if you want to do this, when you select this, you have where it is clean button. Where if you want to do this in code and not here, clean by a button status is the button here. You can select none here in the code, never appears. And in order to do this in a code, you just simply say user name text field dot clear button mode is equals dot while editing. So this has the same effect if you prefer to do that in a code. So now that we have set ourselves as a delegate, this gives us an error that we don't conform to the protocol, which is okay. We're going to do that in just a second. I want to finish here. We have view for header in section, and then we want to access our height for header in section. And here, depending on the section, I want to return different number. So I will say return, and then we're accessing our section is equals to 0. If we are first section, let's return 0. Otherwise, we return 30. So this will make the size here 0 for our header, and here will be 30 points. And also, I want to implement a function whenever our user taps on a cell for us to be notified. So let's say did select a row at index path, and I want to deselect the row. Deselect row at index path, animated true. So every time our user clicks on this cell, it will not stay highlighted until we click on a different cell, and it will be automatically deselected. And what we want to do here is, let me put a to do here, say show status view. Okay, and we can proceed to our delegate function for our table view text field, sorry. And to do that, I'm going to create an extension, and the extension is going to be on our edit profile table view, and this is going to be UI text field delegate. So now we confirm to the protocol and this will go away. We are interested in one function, which is the function that is being called every time the user clicks on this return key. This is what it called. We just change the button name there. So I will say text field should return, and this has a text field and a boolean. So what we are interested in is if this is the text field we want to work with. So if we have to check if this is the user text field. In case if your application has more than one text field in a view, you want to always check this. So say if text field is equals to username text field, it means we are on a correct text field and the return button was clicked on a correct text field. What we want to do is to check if our user has some name here, because if our user has deleted the username and clicked the done, first of all, it's automatically enabled. You cannot click this. But even if for some magic way the user clicked this, we don't want to do anything if the text field is empty. So I will say if text field.text is not equals to empty string. So we have some kind of name there. So in this case, I want to update my user. So I will say if var user equals to user.current user. So if we have a current user, I want to say user.username is equals to the text field dot text, and we can unwrap this because we just checked it's not empty string. And then we want to save our user. So I will say save user locally and let's pass our user. And also we want to save it to our Firebase. So we say Firebase user listener shared save user to Firebase, and we pass our user here. So this will do the change, save it locally and save it in our Firebase. And here, if our text field is, we're going to say text field dot resign first responder, which in other words mean dismiss the keyboard. And then we want to say return, and I'm going to say false. Remember, this is returning a boolean here. Otherwise, if our text field is not equals to this text field, so we are working with some other text field, I will just say return true here. So we just want to get rid of anything. We're not going to do anything to our code if it's some kind of different text field. All right, so let's test this function. I'm going to open my Cloud Firestore here, the username. Let's go here and I'm going to change this. So if I delete this, doesn't do anything. Let's call this David. Click done. And you can see my username here is changed. So the save is working. We can update our username.